Dale Jr. is on his way. Have no fear. Dale Jr. is on his way. He's not late. He's in the school drop-off line, which is where we want him right now because this is giving us an opportunity that we've never had on the Dale Jr. Download. And that is for the next 15 minutes, Amy Earnhardt uninterrupted. Amy, good morning.
Good morning.
Amy, you are here because if I have this right, Dale Jr. told me the other day that sometimes you will listen to the Dale Jr. Download or catch a video on social and you'll see or hear him tell a story and you're like, that is not how it happened.
100%.
He embellishes.
He likes to embellish. He's always, you know this about him. He likes to do that. He'll do it in your presence, knowing that you know the truth, just to get more of a reaction. That's just who he is. He likes everyone to be entertained. So yeah, that happens quite a bit actually.
Or he has a warped sense of reality.
Well, that probably is true too.
I think that's probably a little truth to that. I think there is. And by the way, he wouldn't be alone. That's men. I think men, husbands especially, sometimes our reality, our vantage points are skewed.
Well, that's really good self-awareness, Mike.
Well, listen, I know it because I hear Dale, and I'm like, that's bull crap. I know that ain't how it happened. Although I will tell him, he tells a story on Tuesday about you surprising him with the cryo tank, the cryotherapy.
Right.
I mean, we butchered this story. We first of all called it a Cairo.
That's what he called it when he walked up to see the sign. I think he was so nervous too he couldn't even get his tongue to do the right thing. You know.
So if there's a story that he's told that I think is accurate, the closest thing to accurate, it's him hating for 10 seconds the cryo tank.
Yeah.
Or the cryo chamber.
Yeah. We sat in there for 3 minutes.
Here's what I want to do today. Before Dale gets here. Mm-hmm. I want to hear your version of this thing before Dale gets here. Now, when he gets here, I then want to hear that I think you guys did the ice bath that he mentioned on Tuesday's episode. He said that he was going to, with you, try an ice bath at the house.
Yes.
And did that happen?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to save that for you and Dale telling that together.
Okay.
First, give us your version of the cryotherapy, starting with your surprising of him.
Okay, so the only reason I wanted to do this, it's not something I would typically sign up for to do by myself. I don't like being cold either. But he keeps getting these Instagram ads, you know, the ads.
Wait, the algorithm knows that he's a potential customer?
He has talked about it at least once or twice. And so he's getting all of these ads for these different types of ice bath things that you can just put on your back porch, inflatables. I'm like, you can't fit in that. It's $20, it's going to fall apart. Well, that doesn't matter. Why are you buying this stupid thing? Why do you care about this? And he's getting these ads so often, now he's really wanting one, right?
But did he buy one?
He didn't. And that's the reason he didn't is because I tricked him into doing cryotherapy.
Oh.
He had an obligation for NBC, and I knew it was in the area of Birkdale and that there was a cryo chamber place in Birkdale.
Okay.
And so instead of telling him to meet me at the address, I just said, meet me over there by the theater in Birkdale at 3 o'clock. And he loves a surprise. So he was tickled to death that I was going to surprise him in the middle of the week, in the middle of the day. So he didn't hesitate whatsoever to accept. And so we get to the theater, and I start filming him immediately because he's excited and nervous, but he can't guess what we're doing.
He thinks, as he said on Tuesday, he thinks you're about to day drink.
He thinks we're going to go have a date. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, we're going to go eat sushi? Are we going to have, the movie theater. We're going to go watch a movie. That's awesome. I haven't been to the movies in so long.
Mario Brothers.
There's bars over here. I haven't seen that one before. I'm like, you don't have any clue what we're doing.
Going to the movies?
Nope. Is that your only guess?
We're at Birkdale. You told me to meet you over here. Going to eat sushi?
Nope. And then we get past this little spice place, and he sees the cryotherapy, which he calls chirotherapy. And I'm like, we're going in. He goes, what's chirotherapy? It's an ice chamber. You've been telling me you want to do an ice bath. He goes like, nuh-uh, his typical response.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we're going in. What's next?
Savory and spice?
Nope.
Chirotherapy?
Yep.
What's that?
You've been telling me you want an ice bath.
Oh, no. Are you serious?
Yep.
You brought me here to do an ice bath?
You're going to get in a cryotherapy chamber.
Bull
3 minutes. You can do it. And so you don't have to have an appointment. We just dropped in and we did it together. You have to completely get naked, except for your underwear. If you do not have any, they will give you some.
Oh, wow.
I know.
Community underwear.
Community underwear.
What could go wrong?
So you have to wear a beanie if you're a man and a head wrap for if you're a woman. They want your ears covered.
Okay.
You get socks and you get slippers, and then you get a robe. So you can go in the I'm saying it like he's saying it, the cryo chamber by yourself, or you can go in together. Of course, we went in together. And we did level 1, which is negative 145.
Yeah, stop right there. Is that an accurate statistic? That almost sounds like a NASCAR loop stat, where it's like, they're trying to convince us that there was 2,000 green flag passes. That seems like a ridiculous, that feels like a non-survivable number.
I agree. It does. But, I mean, so that's level 1. They say level 4 is negative 200.
See, that's even...
So as you sit in there, it does get colder. There's like wind blowing, and it will get more intense. It's almost like you're in a blizzard.
Oh, you don't start out there. It eases into
well, I think once you open the door, it just lets some of the cold out, you know what I mean? Like the refrigerator.
Gotcha.
So you have to walk in, there's this giant door.
And what are you sitting on a bench?
No, you stand in the middle.
You stand.
Like a popsicle in the freezer.
Okay, now give a play-by-play of Dale Jr. as from the moment he walks in.
He walks in and he stands right next to the front door, and he lets me do all the talking. And then the lady's like giving us both some paperwork to fill out. So he sits down and he's trying to fill out his paperwork. And I get mine done first. So he's like, he's frustrated. He didn't get a chance to wrap his head around what's about to happen, which is kind of something you want to do.
That's the way you want to do it.
You want to mentally prepare. Which I got to do. So I'm excited. I'm laughing. I'm just laughing at him. The girls are laughing at him because I called them in advance and said, this is what's going to happen. So we get checked in. They take us back to the locker room, and we get undressed, and we get in our robes. And he looks at me, and he's like, this is going to really suck. I'm like, it's going to suck for 3 minutes. You can do this. You know what I mean? Like, it's just 3 minutes of your life. And so we went in there, and you hang your robe up as soon as you get in, and you just stand and try not to touch the walls. It's not a big room. It's really small. It's literally like standing in a refrigerator box.
Wow. So it's that small.
Yeah. And
the two of you are in the same room together.
We're in the same one together. I start breathing almost like, Lamaze labor breathing.
Oh, like...
Just like big, deep, slow breaths. And he immediately starts huffing and puffing, and his whole body is trembling. And he's like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can do this. And so there's this light tube, by the way, that's up both sides of the door. And it's got this little white bar. And it goes up and up and up as your time is going. This is how you know when it's time to get out.
Oh, this is like a time meter.
Yeah.
It's like a clock.
Yeah. So every 20 seconds, the white will get higher and higher. And he's like, this. This. And he's throwing his arms.
And how far into it are we?
Oh, 20 seconds.
That's it.
If I had not been in that room with him, he would have busted out of that thing and run out without his robe to the locker room. And he said that. He's like, if you had not been standing in there, my ass would have been running out in my underwear.
He's streaking in Burkdale. All right. So he says, this.
Yeah.
20 seconds in.
I'm like, you got this. Just breathe. It's okay. And he's like, my back hurts.
My back. It reminds me of that scene in Friday when the dude's on the ground. He's like, my neck, my back, my neck and my back.
He's trying to claim that he's got like freezer burn on his back. He didn't touch the walls. There's no way he did. You know what I mean? He's not like got a hairy back either. There's nothing to freeze.
I know, but I could absolutely understand the feeling of burn in something that cold, right? Like that's
mine didn't.
You didn't. You were fine. Okay, so we're 20 seconds in.
I think he's just trying to make up he had mentally plummeted as soon as he walked in there. You have to.
No. I think he mentally plummeted before he walked in.
Right, before he walked in the front door, he was pretty much upset about the whole thing.
And then when he walked in the door, it confirmed his mentally plummeting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And by the way, I think I would be on his. I would be the same way. So I'm not faulting the guy, but I am enjoying this imagery right now. Okay, so you're 20 seconds in. All right, now what happens?
I don't remember. So like the next 2 minutes is almost like me just trying to calm him down and watching the bar go up. I'm like, you got this. I feel like if I had been in there by myself and didn't have him as a distraction, I might have wanted to get out a little sooner too.
Okay.
But him being such a baby really, really was entertaining. We were dying laughing. The girls out front could hear us cackling in this chamber.
So y'all were laughing.
We were laughing our asses off. And he was like, when I tell you he was shaking, every inch of his body was bouncing and jumping all over the place because he could not sit still. It was amazing.
Okay, so how long did y'all last?
We lit the whole 3 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
We did not quit. No, we didn't quit.
You weren't going to let that happen.
No. He wasn't going to let it happen either with me in there with him.
Okay, as an aside, if he wasn't in there, how long do you think, would you have gone the full 3 minutes?
I probably would have. I probably would not have had as easy of a time, though. Like, he distracted the shit out of me, so it was helpful.
So that was actually helpful.
For me, yeah.
It was entertainment.
Very entertaining.
Okay, so you go the full 3 minutes, and you're watching that light
Yeah.
meter.
As soon
reach
as
the
it
top.
gets to the last, we have 1/22nd increment left, he grabs his rope and he's holding it, and he's ready to jump out.
Yeah.
So as soon as it hit, he opened the door, and then I grabbed mine. But we did it. Yeah, it was.
But then the post-chamber experience also seemed just as traumatic for him.
Really?
Well, he was talking about these compression boots and that his body was shaking, and that's when the burn started setting in.
Oh, my
and all this
God.
stuff. Oh, is that not what happened? Tell us what happened.
He looked like he was about to fall asleep, except for all of his texting to you, like, you can't believe what she just did to me. He immediately got on the phone and was telling all of his friends what he just did.
Yeah. That's what I love about him.
Yeah.
You got to love it.
Yeah.
All right. So
the boots are tight and they're long. So, like, my legs are not very long. I'm only 5'3". So they were squeezing all kinds of things they weren't supposed to squeeze when they got to the top, because she makes you zip them up. They're so high. She zips you up halfway, and then you zip for the rest of the way. So you lay in this chair that reclines for what seems like at least 20, if not 30 minutes. It felt really long compared to the 3-minute torture that we just went through.
Okay.
But it massages you really, really deeply to try to get your blood flow back up. And it's relaxing. If you weren't distracted in that moment, you could fall asleep. It was nice.
So on the scale of man card here, I feel like Dale revoked his man card the day he and Duggar got mani-pedis. Like that'll always stick out to me. That video of like that,
Duggar gets a manicure and a pedicure every week.
I'm sure he does.
Yeah.
But I remember the video of them not only just getting mani-pedis, but they were giggling and tickling.
Because it tickles.
Right. Does this? What's more revoking of a man card? That or what happened in this cryo tank? Dale's behavior.
The manicure and pedicure for sure.
Okay, so you actually were you a little bit.
There was another guy that went right in front of us. He didn't giggle when he was in the chamber, but he was by himself.
Ooh.
And he must go quite often. He looked like he was working out, and he had just come from a workout. Apparently, that's what you're supposed to do.
That is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, I can't imagine doing any of this ice therapy without the workout in front of it. Like, that would be the only thing. Isn't it supposed to help you recover?
Yeah.
Y'all were just y'all weren't recovering.
This was a smart ass choice that I made to try to keep him from putting a damn ice bath on the back porch.
But then y'all end up doing it.
Or building another room in the house for an ice therapy session. You know how he is.
Yeah.
Honey, I need to build another garage because I want an ice bath.
He's ridiculous.
Yeah.
He also just arrived.
Oh, great.
Dale Jr., welcome to your show. Dale Jr.'s here.
I've been listening.
Have you heard this?
Yeah,
What?
it's like you don't remember none of our conversations we had yet.
No, I need to hear Amy's version of it.
I hear you.
And are you saying that Amy wasn't telling the complete truth? Or?
You.
Me?
Yes. I said, I'm sitting there listening, and I'm like, he doesn't remember anything we talked about.
No, I do, but like she gives a lot more detail and she puts us in the chamber. You just told us, it sucked.
Yeah.
This.
Okay.
I don't want it.
All right.
All right. So, but you're saying this. All right. Listen. To be honest with you, if you want to know the truth of it, and I said this on Tuesday, women are just way more tougher than we are.
We agreed on that.
More tougher.
Is that not right?
No.
They're just tougher.
More tough or tougher.
More tough. All right. There you go. They're also grammatically superior. to
Annoying.
us.
Grammatically annoying.
So then
Sorry,
you
can't
said
help
that
it.
you thought if you didn't do this, Dale Jr. would just go create an ice bath in the house. But then this is exactly what y'all did, right?
Well, so here's the thing with the ice bath. After we did the cryo thing, Dale and I went to Sullivan's. We had some things to do for the construction we're doing down there, so we got a night away. A few beers in, I text Mitch Phillips.
Oh, you did that while we were sitting there?
Yeah. So we're sitting in the bar, and I text Mitch Phillips. I'm like, Mitch, those cow troughs that they sell at the farmer's supply, I need you to get me one of those and put it on the back porch. He's like, all right. I'm like, we're going to do an ice bath. He goes, that's what I use for mine. It's going to be perfect.
Of course, Mitch Phillips does ice
Yeah.
bath.
Right?
So he delivered one to the back porch.
Unbeknownst to me, so I look out the back window, and there's this tub. And I knew exactly what it was for.
Yeah. It's a big, shiny silver tub
Yeah.
just
I said,
waiting for us to jump in.
I said, what are we doing that? She goes, yep.
Okay, so side note.
I felt like we had to.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I guess so. I got a text when I got out of the Grand Canyon from you. Like, it was one of the first texts that I got when I returned to the land of the living, which means cell service. And it was like, between you and I, we're doing an ice bath. You got to be there. You got to see this. Do you remember texting me this?
Nope.
Okay. Well,
So
you
that
did.
must have been right after I text Mitch.
Okay. But I didn't get it till much later after you'd sent it, so I didn't reply.
Okay. Well, that's not
Usually
surprising
I'm really
anyway,
good-
Mike. You don't ever reply to my
Usually
text
I'm really
messages.
good at text replies.
Oh, so good.
You're so bad at communication.
So you guys do it. Now, Dale said you guys were going to do it on Tuesday's episode. I got to hear how it went.
Well, we fit that in yesterday afternoon. It was absolutely, can I say I just did.
We already have.
It's absolutely miserable.
Yeah.
Is it worse than the cryo tank?
Beyond.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yes.
So that was when we started. We did the box, and the lady was like, wasn't she saying the ice bath was worse?
Way worse. Yeah. She said, I've done both. It is way worse.
I'm like, in my mind, I
That's
think
a sales
Amy's-
pitch, right? You thought for sure she was just blowing smoke because she wants you to come back.
I thought she was telling. I just assumed she was telling the truth, and that instantly made me think, "Ain't no way. I got to do it to see. That's impossible. That what I just did in the box was miserable, and it's a minus 140 degrees. The ice bath is like 30 to 60 degrees, something I don't know, but it's not a minus 140. So now my interest is even more piqued because that was what I wanted to do from the get go, intentional. From the start was the ice bath because it's so easy to acquire everything you need, and I think Amy was as curious as I was, and that's why she ended up getting doing the legwork and getting the tub. And so anyhow, I did some very, very quick Googling. People are in those ice baths from 2 to 15 minutes. You just kind of pick your duration. I think it's pretty dangerous. You need to know a lot about your own physical condition and stuff as far as any issues you might have with blood clotting and whatever, because it's going to restrict your veins in a very fast manner. It's probably something you need to do a little homework on.
Dr. Dale.
Just saying, it seems pretty.
It is.
It's insane. It's intense as hell, and so you need to make sure that you don't have any issues.
Consult your physician.
Consult your
doctor.
doctor.
Well, when we
Dale.
went to the ice box, we filled out all these. I don't have this. I don't have this kind of condition. I don't have this issue. I haven't had any family history of this and X, Y, and Z. Right?
I didn't read it. I just checked all the boxes.
And so we, but anyways, I did some quick Googling, and it's like, okay, you fill the tub halfway with water. So turn the spigot on, put the hose in there, go to town, start filling it up. And we need 3 5-gallon bags of ice, 15 gallons of ice. So I called David Pittman, one of my buddies on the farm, and I said, hey, man, bring over a cooler full of ice. I said, I need about 15 gallons. He did. He brought 15 gallons of ice. Amy pulls in. I said, hey, it's all ready to go. We're doing it.
I went to pick up Isla. Where did I go? I don't know
You were
where
in
I
the
went.
post office.
I had to go to the post office. I told Isla, I was like, I'm really getting nervous on the drive back home. I did not want to do this. I didn't want to do this from the beginning. I knew that he was going to hate it. This is why we started the cryo thing. I've had my back thrown out a lot lately, and laying on that ice pack sucks. The thought of getting myself into an ice bath felt ridiculous.
It was easier to climb into the ice bath than it was the ice box for me. But anyways, I dumped all this ice in there. It was, I know, we're talking about, this seems like it isn't that big of a deal, but when you're standing next to that tub full of ice, and you just put 15 gallons of ice in it, and it's already a cold water spigot from outside, trying to get yourself to climb in there. And if you put a foot in or a leg in, you're not going in. You got to go all the way in, or you're not going in.
You got to almost go quote unquote dive in, or you'll
that's
get
the
out.
thing.
Your brain will tell you to get out.
Right.
You can't do that with an ice bath. You physically can't fucking do that.
I did.
You have to put one foot in first.
Well, yeah,
you
but
can't
I mean,
just
I know, but I know what you're saying.
You don't cannonball in, right?
No, but I
No.
mean, I'm just saying. I said I'm going all the way to the shoulders, water level to the shoulders as fast as I can, because I knew if I stopped at the waist, I was going to chicken out and jump out.
Feels a little like if you're bungee jumping. If you got to get up there and mentally prepare yourself to
commitment.
actually commit to getting off that thing. Or if you sit up there and think about it, you'll stay up there, right?
I got in 10 seconds is all I could do. And
He got all the way in.
Yeah.
He jumped, slid down to his shoulders, and heavy huffed for 10 seconds, and then jumped out.
Amy's got it on her phone.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we took a video, but we're both halfway naked, so I'm not showing you, Mike. But
But not even him?
He saw it.
No.
He would.
I wanna see him.
Watch mine. Go ahead. Watch it. You could put the mic. Just hand it to.
Here's what I think, though. So I don't know. I think mentally preparing yourself is what made you get in there versus not having so much fun in that cryo chamber. You can't get into an ice bath without putting your feet in first and having to force yourself the rest of the way in. With the cryo chamber, you walk straight in. It's
That's
not
true.
like a toe touches it.
I know, but as soon as I guess when I open that door to the cryo chamber, you feel that cold, and you're looking at the damn interior. That box is frozen, and you're like, I've got to walk into this thing. You know, it's a slower process. Where the ice bath was like, bam, I'm in.
If that volume's turned off, you have to turn it
Turn
up.
the volume up. Yeah, you want to hear all that.
All right, here we go.
And Isla's there with
Isla's
us
in the
giggling.
background, Yeah.
Are you cool?
Oh, you didn't even get him. He gets out right after that?
Yes.
Hold on. I want to play it one more time. Isla's commentary is the best.
Are you cool?
Oh, that's so funny.
Dude, it's so cold. It's so cold.
So you know how when your cooler's been sitting outside, like
Yeah.
all afternoon,
Yes.
and you have to get to the bottom of it with your arm to get that last beer?
Well, yeah, I've got a different example. Like when I'm cleaning deer meat, right? Like I'm pulling it out. It's been sitting in a cooler for a couple days, and now I'm pulling. When you go in, it is so cold. It is so cold. In fact, I often wear gloves just to do that because it's so cold at the bottom of that cooler. Same thing. That's what you mean.
Can you put your ass in that? Can you put your neck in that? Can you get your whole body in that? That's what this feels
What
like.
about your private parts? Can you put them down in that cooler with the beer?
I feel like you're not even thinking about your privates once you get your feet in there.
We're always thinking about our privates. Amy.
You know what's most sensitive for me when I go swimming is my waistband. And like I can go all the way into my waist, and then that's kind of where I get hung up in a swimming pool. And then I have to go, I could get in with my legs all the way to my waistband, and from there,
It just takes your breath
everything
away
up, it's more
above
sensitive,
that,
right?
yeah.
But I think everybody's a little different there. But I jumped in, I breathed, the only way that breathing that you heard was like not voluntarily. That was not a voluntary motion, man. That was happening whether I'm not controlling that. But I was hoping that the shock of the cold and the sensation would chill, but it didn't chill. I had to get out.
Well,
But then honestly, look, wait. So Amy tries to get in a couple times.
I didn't want to do it to begin with. I literally told him I
oh,
wasn't
you
going.
went in after him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried to get us to do it together, and he said that he wanted to do it first.
Yeah. And she had a harder time. But eventually,
I did not get anywhere past my waist.
she got halfway in, come out, try it again, put a leg in. Nope.
He
come back
heckled me
out.
until I did it again.
I would give her a hard time
Like
saying,
how? Give me an example.
you can do it. Not heckling.
I mean,
you can do it.
he wasn't
Come
cussing at
on.
me because I was
You can
standing
do
there.
it.
But
Encouraging you.
You can
he
do
was.
this.
He
You
was.
can do this.
You know how he is. He stares at you until you do it.
Persistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Guilt treatment. There's a
I
lot of
just
words.
really
that come to
wanted
mind.
her to be able to come in here today and say, I've done it. This is the experience I had.
I listen.
She did. So wait,
Go
Mike.
ahead.
So eventually she's like,
We have a video of this part
yeah,
too.
I said, hey, I'll do it again. I'll do it. I'll get back in there if you'll do it one time, right? And she says, okay. And so she's like, we're both going in at the same time. So we both climbed into the tub together.
He pushed me in there.
That's
he
not
pushed
true.
my ass down.
That's not true. Wait a
I
minute.
have it on video.
I do. So
Grabbed
she,
me, tried to hold me down
No,
underneath that water.
Stop that. So
I won't
I get
stop it.
in all the
I'm
way
gonna
to
show
my.
Mike.
I get into my neck. She climbs in and just goes to pits. So she's got her shoulders out, and I just grabbed her shoulders and shoved her down.
Is that different than what I just said?
2
I don't
inches.
know.
I pushed her down 2 inches. It ain't like I dunked her.
No, I think.
Mike?
Yeah, I think that's exactly
Mike?
what Amy's trying to say.
Well, I don't want people to get the opinion that I
He was going to make sure this
physical.
happened.
Hold on.
Now people are gonna think I'm abusive.
Oh, please. And Isla's,
I didn't think you pushed her down that much.
All right.
Yeah.
it felt aggressive when you're in the ice
No,
bath.
no.
I was just like, hey, no, you're not going to just pit.
and he's
You're
in
going-
there with you. He's in there with you, so it wasn't as bad as I thought. Actually, I think that.
Yeah.
I think you'd actually handled the ice bath way better.
Yeah.
You said you did.
Thank you.
He did.
So,
I don't understand how he prefers that over the cryotherapy
well, the
chamber,
thing is,
but he
is like-
says he does.
all right, so they're right. The ice bath is harder by far. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
I got into the box and was able to, thanks to you, stick it out for 3 minutes. Not a freaking chance. No chance.
No.
I'm getting beyond 10 seconds in that ice bath.
No, not a chance you go in.
The only thing the thing that I do find interesting is that I can get in the ice bath in and out as many times as you want me to, but I can't stay in there. Now the ice box, I think if I got in it and then came out, I wouldn't go back in. They're two different things. They're very, very different.
Well, it's air versus water. So, of course, it's going to feel
If
different.
I got out of that box, I would not go back in it.
So here's the thing about the box, too. As we were standing in there, the vent started to blow the cold air out again. So she told us level 1, that's as cold as it gets. By the time you get up to level 4, she said it's like a blizzard in there. It's like spitting out snow almost. There's like ice.
No thanks.
So did it get to 145 or did it get to 200? Negative 200.
Negative.
Well, negative 145.
It got to negative
Yeah.
145.
Yeah.
That seems
So hard to
asinine.
believe.
Yeah, Well, I'm impressed.
Sounds like Mike
though.
needs to go.
Oh,
Hey, I wanna
you know
tell you
what?
something, Dale.
I think that's a great idea. I think we should take this on the road. I thought we were going to have to apologize for talking too much about ice baths and cryotherapies, but no, man, we got one more segment out of this thing, and that's you going to the ice box.
Well, no, I don't think I'm doing
We still
that.
have a free pass.
Yeah, you
we
are.
We bought
We have a pass.
a
You're going.
pass for you.
Here's what I'll tell you. Because, listen,
Everybody's shaking
Morgan
their
will
head.
do
yes.
it. Morgan likes
Everybody's
it.
shaking their head, yes.
Yeah.
do you, I appreciate that you come and you own your, flaws and wimpiness and stuff. If you would like to know, I mentioned in our Grand Canyon story that there was more, but I didn't want to share it.
Oh,
Do you
what
want to know
happened?
it?
Yeah.
I just watched that clip on Instagram, and I'm dying to know. If you
Well,
didn't poop your pants, what
I
happened?
would only say this because you've owned yours. And by the way, I said women are just tougher than us. Here's what happened. We hike out. I told you already that we were not supposed to hike all the way out. We were supposed to hike 4.5 miles, camp for the day,
Yep.
and then the next morning go the rest of the way, which was another 4.5 miles. The last 4.5 miles of the Grand Canyon is just straight up a wall, right? Like it's intense, right? My wife has been encouraging me to get in shape for this hike for months.
Yeah.
She even has on a chalkboard in our house, like 92 days until Grand Canyon. And I'm just like, past the honey mustard. I've got chicken nuggets to eat, right?
Oh man.
With 3 miles to go, I'm down a cylinder. I mean, I'll put with 3 miles to go. I know
3 miles is a freaking long way.
It is a long way, and now I'm down a cylinder.
3 miles is hard flat.
But now you're in a space where you can't stop.
Exactly. There's nowhere to stop. I mean,
You should have stopped a
can't.
mile and a half back.
Right. Exactly. You're committed.
Okay.
You're pot committed at this point. For the next mile and a half, there's a mile and a half rest house. And Lily is walking with me, and Gracie and Sarah are way up. They're
How
doing
far?
well. As far as they want to be, frankly.
No,
I'm going
like give me
slow.
100 yards, 200 yards.
Oh, no. They're probably.
Can you see
they're
them?
probably. No, I can't see them.
Dang.
Okay, so but I do see them at the mile and a half. They've waited for about 15 or 20 minutes for me to get there. And now with the mile
And now
and a
they're
half,
refreshed.
now in a mile and a half to go, I'm not only down a cylinder, but I don't have lug nuts on my wheels, and I'm struggling. And I got a mile and a half to go. They go on. Lily and I stand back. And Lily, God bless her, she's 10 years old, and she's just there for support, moral support. At a 3/4
She's
mile.
there for your life alert, is what she's there for.
And I did. All right, so with 3/4
10-year-old
mile.
saves man's life.
With 3/4 mile to go, I'm now dead on the apron. and Sarah and Gracie have been out of the canyon now for a while, but they also, it kicked their butt too, but they, were. So I text Sarah because now we're high enough to get cell service, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm seeing 3 paths right now. I'm low on electrolytes. I can't. I'm dizzy. I'm
Are
lightheaded.
you being dramatic, Mike, or are you
No,
serious?
I don't feel like I'm being dramatic. Here's the thing. Much in the way Amy was your hero in that cryo tank, Sarah, who is exhausted, goes to the store, buys snacks, and hikes back down the trail and brings it to me.
She's got time to go to the store and shop and
Not
come back.
at the Grand Canyon
Still.
canteen. She brings me snacks 3/4 mile down on the trail and hikes this thing again.
My gosh.
And brings me a Powerade and Snickers and things. I'm sitting there on the side of the street.
I can see Dale doing
And she's
that.
saying,
what?
and I have no shame in
Let's
my
just
game.
see Mike doing this. Let's just enjoy this. Don't put me in this.
And meanwhile,
I'm not in the canyon.
Meanwhile, Lily
You could be
has
in the
on
game.
her face, she's not saying it because she's too sweet, but she's on her face, it says, "This motherfucker."
Get your together, Dad.
I mean, God, and Sarah then says, "Do you want me to carry your pack out too?"
Oh,
And I'm
she's
like,
basically
"No!"
saying in front of your kids, your slip is showing,
But
Mike.
she was actually saying that out of concern for
You don't
me.
think that was like a encouraging, get your ass up, let's go kind of a...
She would have been perfectly willing to do it. So basically, Sarah hiked 9 3/4 miles out of the Grand Canyon. She did the last part twice. Brought me snacks. I don't know if that's ever been done in the Grand Canyon Trail. I don't know if that's
Probably more than you know.
And that was absolutely something that I was not prepared to tell anybody. But this podcast has to be owning the flaws. And if it celebrates how awesome our wives are, I'm here for it, right?
That's right.
So
I like it, Mike. Thanks for being transparent.
Amy, you have an open invitation to just take over this show anytime you want. Anytime you hear Dale, or me even, tell a story that you think isn't jiving with reality, which means every week we say, our realities are skewed. You come in here and correct the record.
I'm
She's going
happy
to come
to
in
do
here
that,
and
yeah.
take out the trash.
I'm going to just clean you right up.
Hey, if you like that video, you'll love the entire podcast. The Dale Jr. Download, it's available on all major podcast platforms.